Okay, here we are. We are at Barbara's restoration. I think we're at part 4. Now, I should have checked before I came out to do this, but hey, I've been meaning to do a video for a little bit, but I keep forgetting. So, here we are. Look at my progress. I am finally sheeting. Things have slowed down a little bit between my last video and my last restoration Barbara video and this one, and there's been stuff going on. I've had to get stuff done around the house with the news of the cancer coming back and going to be out of action for a bit once I decide, if I decide to do chemo. I've had to get a to-do list of things that needed to be done first. So Barbara's been on hold. It's also been raining here. I'm not complaining about the rain, thank goodness. We're out of the drought where we are. Australia's still in drought, but we're okay. But it's been raining and I haven't been able to do anything because I'm just working under a tarp out in my driveway next to Doris. If anybody knows Doris, my other caravan, I don't have much room to work, and when it rains I have to cover this whole side. There's a tarp up there that I have to pull down to protect it. So it's been stalled a little bit, but we're finally here. And where I'm at, excuse the glare from the fence, I'm doing this in the afternoon. Where I'm at, I've got 3 panels on already. I've just finished the top one up here. It went really quick actually. It only took me about half an hour to put it on and cut with a renovator's tool. I've put it up square, uncut, and nailed it all down the way it should be. And I used a renovator tool to go around to give a really neat, I don't know how well you can see that, neat smooth edge. I'll sand that back before I put the roof paneling stuff on, so it gives me a definite seal. So when the other one's on top, I've got no pieces here, but anyway, so when the other bit's on top of it, it'll seal really well and it'll be a lot more weatherproof. So I got my electricals. I had to wait. That was another reason why I had to wait. Had to try and find an electrician that would do it for a reasonable price. There was some pretty scary prices out there that they wanted to charge me. I settled because I couldn't wait anymore. This cost me $1,000. I suppose I could have done the wiring myself, but with the other stuff that I needed to do, I just got the electrician to do it. He was pretty cool. Still doesn't mean my 12-volt brake lights and tail lights and that sort of stuff. That's a separate thing. He just charged for the 240 and the 2-pole or 10-pole or something pole, trilly-la-la pole. It needed to have the proper caravan switches. So I've got the caravan switches. I'll turn that off. There's no need for that to be on. Don't worry, look at that, because that'll have some nice beading around it to hide that mess that was there. If you remember, there was 2 switches. So because there's such a lack of space in here, this is basically it, the bench top, and that's where the cooker goes. There's nowhere to put anything apart from on the sink, so, or on the table. So I put everything together. Once I took all this side off, all right, I'm jumping around. Let me breathe. Just let me breathe. Okay, doesn't look so pretty. It looks so pretty once it's all up. This is the first time I've seen it, so I'm a bit excited about myself. It'd be so nice to actually leave that. That would be so cool. to leave that the timber, but yeah, just paint it, Michael, don't fiddle ass around. So there is my roof panel that needs to go up here because this was rotted through, and I've cut that neatly so there will be a neat join, and that'll have a bit of beading, whatever you call it, a joiner. So it'll all be lovely and new. I have sanded and sanded, I've patched. I don't know how well you can see down here. There, had to take this whole section out, and I've patched up and filled in the gaps and all that sort of stuff. Once it's painted, you won't even know it was out. So this side first, concentrating on this side first, get the panels up, and I will finish painting. I painted in here. Oh shit. Oh, bugger on me. I've painted up in there because once I've got the sheeting up on here, I won't be able to get in there properly to paint that side without trying to be a contortionist and making it really difficult for myself. I painted all that side, all that side. I have made, just experimenting, I've made this, I don't know what you call these suckers, but when I got my ply, I asked if they had a piece of, you know, just standard ply, marine ply, and took it home and made a stencil underneath the wheel well, and then I just put that on. I just thought without it, as you can see, it looks pretty flat. It's a very flat looking caravan, so I just thought I'd give it a little bit of interest. I like it. I think it looks pretty good. I have used silica flex, sorry. Seal, I'll go and show you, and some 40mm screws, I think they were, just to really make sure that that's really nice and solid there now, and it looks, I like it, quite substantial. It'll look nice once it's painted. The other one is sitting in here. I've got stuff all over the place. You can see it anyway. Don't want to take it out. I need to get the roof in, but I can't do that by myself. I've had to put one new bit of frame right at the join there, and another piece across there. You can see the new piece because they were just too rotted and just needed replacing. So they milled them up for me, which was good. The timber place that I've been getting all my stuff from, they've been really helpful. Lismore Timber and Ply, little plug for them, but hey, look, if you're watching this overseas, does it really matter? Nah. So they've been really good because all this framework, right, all this stuff, you can't, it's old measures, and you can't buy it in hardware just ready to go. I've had to get them to mill it, so thank goodness, and it hasn't cost me much. So the ply is costing me $50 a sheet because it's, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a gorgeous sort of pink. You can sort of catch hues of it, but it's hardwood, high quality marine ply that is, yeah, basically the best one that you can get. It cost me $50 a sheet. So to do this side and the other side, which is pretty much basically the same without the door, it cost me $350 to get the ply for that. Learning how to cut things, this has all been a new learning curve for me. I had no idea, because I've had to put it on, obviously measure where things are, and just sort of roughly cut in around and then go with my renovator tool, so it's a nice, neat, very finished, flat, and this still needs sanding a bit to bring it flush with the timber frame that's already in there. So that's ready to go. That is, I don't know what that was. No one seems to know what that was. I'm putting it down to storage now, so that'll be a little storage hatch, which is great. I sat for days, like bombarding my brain and making my brain hurt because I don't have woodwork experience at all. I just don't. Never took it up in school. All that sort of stuff. So I'm basically learning as I go. I'm really happy with how this went. Like I said, hours and hours and days of sitting. How am I going to put a window in here? To start off with, to try and put a window in here was driving me nuts. It was, I was going to go crazy. I was going to go crazy and I was going to go postal. But anyway, here, look. Okay, so there's my wooden frame for this window. Okay, so lovely. Can you see that? So I'm keeping those. I will varnish those up. That's really nice silky oak, if anybody knows your timbers. And I just need to get another one made up because one disintegrated. I think it was one up that far corner. Disintegrated, so I have to get another one made up. I don't know how to make them. I'll get a carpenter friend to make it because I just don't want to bodge it. But these, contemplating how do I put a square window in, I just decided and I followed this curve. I just penciled out, I just got some straight pine timber and just penciled out the curve of this before I obviously put this in to see, oh, that's coming away, I'll let it glue that, so to get the curves to follow the arch down. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be covered in ply, right? All this will be covered in ply, so it'll be ply up to the middle there, middle across the top of the middle frame there, and middle down there. So it'll be perspex, clear perspex in there. So, and ply, so it'll have 4mm perspex and 4mm ply. So there'll just be a nice straight seam down the middle and that'll be really well sealed. It won't be open, but at least you'll have some light in there. I don't need to open up the back. I don't see the point because you can open up all the other ones and ready to go. Barbara's bum's back in. If you've been following me on Instagram, saw when I got a bit excited that all went in. Some is it architrave? No. What do you call it? Skirting board. This is just skirting board that I found there. Nice hardwood, so that'll deflect some of the water away from the back here. And this all here, all this curved bit was a huge learning curve for me because I had to apply every single one of these. Again, thank goodness the timber and ply place supplied it. I think I told you in the other video, but I'll tell you again. Each piece, they cut it because there's no way I could cut strips like this without having it looking like a dog's breakfast. And I had to apply each sheet singly. You can't see, but there's nails and screws inside of here as well to hold it, so it's pretty tight and firm. This side I haven't done yet because I haven't been able to get to it. It would have been nice if I had been able to get to it today because this it's been beautiful autumn weather here the last couple of days. But I need to get all this crap off here, all the leftover ply that I don't know what glue they used on this side, but it was so hard to get off. I basically had to sort of destroy the panel. This is going to come off easy and make a liar out of me, but I have to get my renovator tool and basically just sort of skim all that up back to that before I can put the ply on here. Once I've done that, I will sand this side, because concentrating on that side, getting that finished, cladded, painted, and then over this side, sanded, cladded, painted. Then I'm in, start from either, yeah, the front maybe, I don't know, front or back, that makes no difference. I'd rather get the ply on both sides so the caravan doesn't warp. That's why I've done it in stages. Instead of ripping the whole lot off and just leaving the frame, it could warp and distort, and I didn't want that. So once both sides are done, I will start and I'll go up the guts and the top and down the back and finish that way. I did find an auto electrician that came out. I don't know why he came out, because I was in a caravan page, caravan renovation page on Facebook. I put it out there, or no, it was Trusted Tradies or something, anyway, for the caravan, to see about an electrician to come and quote me. He came out, but all he does is auto electric work, the tail lights and all that sort of stuff. But he did say that measure up what I need, what there is in the caravan, measure it all up, he'll supply the wire, I'll just string the wire where it needs to go in where it's already been, and I just have to pay for the wire. I'll get the lights obviously when the time's right from a caravan repair place when I'm ready for it, or vintage caravan site when I need it. I've also, because I needed to get my house straightened, because with the drought and the floods that we've had here, there's been a lot of movement in the soil. My to-do list was to get the house straightened, because it was all getting a bit crooked. So that happened last week. The guy that was doing the welding of the braces and stuff is going to give me a quote to do a new drawbar. Yay, hopefully he'll come in at a reasonable price and I can get that done. I'm working a bit arse up. I know I should be working from the bottom up, but because of the way the weather's been and all that sort of stuff, plus me being a little bit not so great, every time I get on the ground, on the concrete, I'm a bit of a broken old man there for a few days afterwards. So hopefully he'll come in at a good price. Okay, what I've been using... Oh, and this, look here, look, quick. Pulling this off, I found out, because I thought this was going to be so painful to try and clean in between, because there's so much filth and dirt in there. But these come out, yay. So when I'm ready to do that, I will pull them out individually and clean as I go. Nicely, lovely, very happy about that. It's going to make the job so much easier and much better finish. And I can paint these properly as well, instead of, because if you see here, like, I can only just barely get my fingers in there. There's no way I could get a paintbrush in there to do a proper job, and it would have looked like crap. These come out as well, which makes me happy. So I can do the same here, give it all a good clean. I'm so chuffed. I did find this more when I was stripping more paint. I just thought this was a wooden shelf, because if you remember from my previous video, this was all painted and just so choked up with the paint you could hardly even recognize it. The paint has preserved the chrome, which is great. So once I finish with that, it'll almost look like new. But I found this was laminate. You can see the pattern there, which matches... crap everywhere. matches all the other laminate work. I am so happy. That makes me very happy. And what I have been sealing it with, may as well show you, is the Sikaflex, because in my Facebook caravan renovating pages, I've in quite a few. Sikaflex, everybody recommends the Sikaflex. I've gone for this one because it's quite flexible and quite strong as well. So Sikaflex, if you want something, don't use liquid nails because it's set solid, and because the caravan is plywood, and once it's on the road it'll be moving a lot, you need something that flexes. So Sikaflex 11.5 FC Plus is the one I've got. Wherever it's gone, I have been using these 1.6, no, they're 25 mil, sorry, and they're 1.6 wide, sorry. Can you read that? Can you read that? And it's hardboard, but I'm using those. So I'm using those, the Sikaflex all the way around, on all the joints, like everywhere, all the framework, all the way around, without putting too much on, so it doesn't squeeze and not ooze out the other side, because there's no internal walls, right? So all that, and I measured basically roughly what the old nails were, and I came up with say 10 centimeters everywhere, all the way around, everywhere, all the way around. There was only a couple where I thought they might need it, but I don't know where they are now, so it doesn't matter. So 10 centimeters on all the framework. I'm penciled out before the ply went up, so I knew where the middle of the framework was, otherwise I would have been in a right mess. So it's all right. The joins will have maybe 40 mil, and because I've got strips, I think maybe about 200 mil strips left from my sheets still at the timber place, they will cut me up, so some 40 mil strips all the way around, and I will curve the edges, sort of a smaller version than this, on all the joins everywhere. Put some framework around the door, which it never had, just to make it look a little bit more finished, I guess. I've got my porthole window that needs to go in there. There wasn't ever an outside light, so I got the electrician to put in a bit of line for when I'm ready to get that, and that's basically it. I think I've tried to get as much crammed in there as I possibly can. It has been a lot more sanding and scraping than what I initially thought, but it needed to be done. I'd rather have a proper finish than just slap more paint on and have a half-bodgy job. And hopefully it will be finished before I have my treatment. That's what I'm hoping for. That's my timeline. So well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think I crammed everything in there that I needed to cram in there for this time around, and thank you very much for watching, everybody. I will see you all the next one. I have to say a really big thank you to everybody for my last video of when I finally showed my face, to just share with people my up and coming new journey of my third round of cancer that has decided to pop up. A big thank you to everybody. Thank you. I really can't say thank you enough. I was trying to reply to everybody on that video, and it just became so overwhelming for me. At the time, I couldn't. I appreciate it. I read just about all of them. It's not like I didn't want to get back to you. I appreciate everybody's well wishes and kind thoughts. Thank you very much. It's going to be an interesting journey. I'll keep you updated on that one. It's it's going to be an interesting one, this one. So we'll keep this Barbara for the reno, and I'll talk about my stupid cancer battle in another video. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.